This is Trent. Sorry I missed your call. Please leave your name and number. Thanks. Bye-bye.
People who still listen, well done. You made it past Quitter's Day. I think that's a thing. Alex, we should talk about that later. Quitter's Day.
Yes, I definitely want to.
I don't know if it happens in the podcast world or not, but welcome to the Please Don't Call Me podcast. You've made it through eight episodes. So welcome. It is the first of the year. This is our second podcast of the year. We're in the middle of, are we in the middle of January yet? Oh, we're getting close.
We're getting close.
So we have a lot to talk about, a couple wintry items and other fun things. How are you, Alex?
I am good. I'm kind of confused as to what day it is because I didn't have school yesterday. That was a pleasant surprise. So today feels like Sunday. It's really Saturday, which is a good thing.
Good. An extra day.
Yes.
So I'm glad you're doing well. Got a green hat on. I wore a green workout shirt.
It's almost like we planned
a workout
it.
shirt. So we're green, even though we're thinking Georgia today.
Yes.
Big game against Oklahoma. This is Saturday that we're taping. So big game tonight. Can't have a letdown. You beat Kentucky.
Yeah.
You got to back it up by beating Oklahoma.
Yeah.
If you beat number 6, you got to beat number 17. I believe they are going to be favored. I think most people would say, yeah, Georgia should win at home. So this is exciting.
Yeah, the atmosphere at the Kentucky game makes me feel like we could beat just about anybody at home. So that's which has not been the case it is lit. It really is, Dad. Especially when we everybody lights their flashlights a couple times and we do the thing or
crazy in the house.
This and I think Ben kind of makes fun of me because I always do those. And so he'll look up in the stands and I'm the only one in our section because all the students do it. And there's just me there like waving my phone. And he looked up at me at the last game and laughed at me. So we'll see if I do it today. But
get crazy. It's worth it. We always look for you. Everybody should look for Alex. What do you sit behind the bench?
I sit behind the bench like 9 or 10 rows up.
Just if you watch, it's probably on SEC Network tonight, I'm guessing. If you watch, Alex, we can probably see her feet.
Yes.
Her legs
all
or
the time. Sometimes Mom can see my shirt, but not my head.
Your neck, up to your neck. You're just out of the typical camera, half court camera view. You're just out of it. So I think you should go to the AD and demand seats lower because your parents
2 rows behind me. So I think he'd be worried that if I was on it, he would also be on it. So he might. This might be strategic. The AD, he sits 2 rows behind me. I get to hear everything he has to say about the refs. It's really fun.
Nice.
Yeah, he knows them all by their first name too. So it's even more insulting when it's that's a terrible call, Jerry. Like it's just even better when he knows their first name. I'm okay with not being on TV because I had some students at the game. They know I always tell them what section I sit in, and so they always can find me. And I went to school after the Tuesday game versus Kentucky, and one of my students was like, I saw you from across the arena, and you were like this the whole time. And I was like, yeah, I was. I was not okay during that game.
Well, watch the game. Well,
yes.
You won't be able to watch the games where to take this, but in future games, look for Alex, row 10. All right. What else shall we just... Oh, that was our welcome. So, hello, everybody. What's our topics today, Alex? I think I need to do not a rebuttal, a follow-up to something last week. And what else shall we discuss?
I would love to talk about the snow day that swept across almost half of the nation. I do think we should talk about Quitter's Day, which we are now past. If you're listening to this, you've made it past Quitter's Day. Yep. And then things we worried about as kids that are not a big deal.
Oh,
these are all things so what would you like to start with?
Let me go back to the Subaru comments from last week.
Yes.
So come to find out that Alex's in-laws and sister-in-law
and my sister-in-law
both have Subarus.
Yeah.
So
I didn't know this.
I'm not. If you drive normal in a Subaru, I don't have a problem. That's fine if you're at or near the speed limit, and if you're in the proper using the proper lanes, or if you don't drive that WRT or whatever it's called and drive 800 miles an hour swerving in and out of traffic. I don't have a problem with Subaru owners. I'm talking specifically about the ones who drive 50 miles an hour right dead smack in the middle lane of 95, and we all have to negotiate around you. That's my problem.
Yeah, I don't think that's any of my in-laws, but it was literally the day after the episode released. My father-in-law texted me and sent us a picture of the Subaru he had just bought the night before.
You know, at Christmas, I sat on the couch with him.
Did he talk to you about Subarus?
Games. We talked about Subarus. So I wonder if that planted something in my gigantic head to be looking for Subarus. And that's what, because I drove home that next day, 3 hours home. So I wonder if that planted it in my brain. So
that is true. Once you get a car or think about a specific type of car, you see it everywhere.
Yep. So that might have been what happened. So yeah. So again, if you're a normal Subaru motorist, no problem. If you operate the vehicle in such a way that it is a hindrance to the rest of traffic, yes, that's a problem.
Then you're the problem.
Yes, you're the problem. All right. So so the lawyers now can get off my back. Subarus.
We have lawyers. We will have lawyers to defend us.
When you have a podcast nation, you have lawyers.
We just gotta wait 4 months for them to graduate law school.
That's right. And then I've got full.
And then we have 2 lawyers in our family.
All right. So I feel good about that. I'll be able to sleep tonight.
Let's talk about the snow day.
Snow day. Because South Florida, we had a cold day, but we did not have a snow day. So go.
Yes, but we are experts in snow days because we lived in Illinois. When I went back to school on Monday, our head of school said to all the teachers, he was telling us a superstition to make sure that there's a snow day because we knew it was probably going to happen on Friday. So that's how early in advance we knew this. And he told everybody to sleep with a spoon under their pillow, which I have heard before and I have done. But he said also to flush ice cubes down the toilet.
That's a Southern. I've never heard.
I have never heard of that.
A thing in the South.
Yeah, he said he learned it when he lived up in Tennessee. So I was like, yeah, we don't do that where we get real snow days.
Mm-hmm. We don't test our septic tanks with ice.
Yeah, exactly. So I talked with all my kids and I told them, I love you guys and I love school, but it would be awesome to have a snow day because we never get them. Like nothing against you guys or school, but let's do it. I told them about the ice cubes thing, just, in keeping with their Southern culture. I told them about the spoons under the pillows and I told them to sleep with your pajamas inside out.
That's right. I heard that one too.
First morning after I said that, one of my students' little sisters came running up to me. It's like, I slept with my pajamas on inside out last night. And I was like, whoa, word is spreading. And there would be kids all up and down the hallway, kids I don't even know because their siblings or they're in the group. They're like, I even turned my socks inside out last night. Nice. And all of that.
Socks. That's awesome.
My one student, he said he put spoons under his fish tank because I guess he has a raised fish tank. So all his fish would also be sleeping on top of spoons because he took it very seriously. I said that was probably the thing that pushed it over the edge.
That's the influence the teachers of America have. So.
Yes, it is kind of scary. But yes, so they called it Thursday morning at 8:15, the text went out saying that there wasn't going to be school the next day. And I got to read it out to my kids and we did a happy dance. It was really exciting. We did not have school yesterday and we got, I would say 2 or 3 inches of snow. But then it started raining shortly after. And so it kind of became ice and now it's all pretty much gone. I can see a little bit in the mulch, but other than that, the snow it was short-lived, but it was beautiful.
When you were little, Mom would get super geeked up, even though you were homeschooled. She would get, if it was a snow day for the rest of the world, you guys got a snow day.
We did not do school. If your school had a snow day, we did not do school.
Yep.
Yeah.
And growing up, I didn't get that thrill. So if it snowed, I would have to go with my dad to school. He was in charge of plowing the school in the church, massive parking lot. Took us forever. So my dad would be in charge of plowing, and then I would have to push the snow off all the sidewalks. And then when I got
So it was
old
like
enough,
a reverse for you.
Yeah. And then when I got old enough, I got to drive the John Deere with a big snowblower on it. And that was it had a little bit of heat in it, although my feet would freeze to death. So I never got, everybody else would listen to the radio. My dad and the principal would pretty much decide together, because if my dad could get the lot cleared and get the buses out to go get the kids, there wouldn't be a snow day. But if he couldn't get the lot cleared in time, and we couldn't get the buses going and all that, then we wouldn't have school. So I never got that thrill of being surprised by the radio. The good news was when school was canceled, he would let me go in the gym. Like when I'd get down to the sidewalks, he was still plowing. I could take a basketball and go in the gym and work on my game, work on my bag, as the kids like to say. So I'd get to play basketball. But other than that, I didn't get that fun wait by the radio like everybody else, stay home and cozy up. Nope, I was out there working.
Yeah. My first snow day memory is in Arizona. I don't know if you remember this, but we lived there for 10 years, and once it snowed, but it was in like the middle of the night, and you and Mom woke us kids up and took us out in the front yard, and our neighbors probably hated us because who wants kids running around screaming in the middle of the night? But we went and played in it because by the time we woke up, it was all gone. So you made sure we got
a little snow,
a little time in the snow. So that's
cool.
my first
So
memory.
That's snow day talk. And this is where cool podcasters go. Share your snow day memory in the comments.
Go for it.
So do it. All right.
So not only was yesterday a snow day, it is also known as Quitter's Day.
Yeah.
The second Friday in January is known as Quitter's Day, the day that most people give up on their New Year's resolutions.
So if you're a zig when everybody else zags, today's the day to start something. If everybody quit yesterday, now today you should start.
That is a zag if I've ever seen one.
I'm playing chess when everybody else is playing checkers. So anyway, Quitter's Day. What have you not quit? Tell me that you have stuck with something. What is it?
Yeah, I haven't quit my Bible reading plan, which I'm proud of, which normally I make it farther than Quitter's Day. So this isn't too shocking for me, but it does make me feel better that the average population has quit. If you have quit, get back at it. You can catch up. I've been journaling every day. I do not necessarily like journaling, but the few times in my life when I have, I love looking back and reading it. So I'm kind of doing it for my future self. I've been getting up at 5:30 or 6 every morning, which has been an adjustment. Have you survived Quitter's Day?
Oh yeah. So I didn't really, well, I guess I did start one thing. So as far as devotions, we've been doing it for years. Every morning, sit outside, drink our coffee. So that hasn't changed. Hopefully won't for a very long time. But what I have started, actually remember I talked about how I was gonna lose the 10 because everybody else gains 20.
Yes.
And I would just be a huge gap way out ahead of everybody. Well, that didn't happen. I didn't lose the 10. I stayed the same.
Okay.
But
that's still losing 10, technically.
It's like losing 10, but I really didn't do that great. The montages are sweet, the workouts, but I must have kept eating. I didn't back that off. So I'm getting up at 5 every morning and I'm walking for 45 minutes. And instead of I love audiobooks. Instead of listening to an audiobook, I've been listening to a bunch of podcasts that I subscribe to. The one I'm on right now, Don't Get Me Started. Been listening to the Bible Project, and they're getting ready to produce a video on mountains. So the significance of mountains in scriptures.
Oh, my word. That's going to be awesome.
How mountaintop experience. Have you ever been to the top of a mountain? You have. Like
yes.
Mount Lemon. We've taken you. It's like you don't belong. See, I'm already starting. It's like you don't belong there. It's either too cold There's not enough air. It's windy. You're afraid of heights. There's a lot of
there are
reasons
barely
why
any
mountains-
trees or animals anyway.
No trees.
Nothing's
it's
supposed to
barren.
be up there.
And they're just talking about the beauty of how, and they don't think this literally, but how being on a mountaintop gets you closer to heaven. And the Bible uses that throughout many stories. When you go up, it's a God experience on top of the mountain. It's,
Right.
it's
Transfiguration.
where earth and heaven meet on mountains. And it starts in the Garden of Eden, and then it goes to Noah, and then Abraham, and then Moses multiple times. David putting Jerusalem, or putting the temple on the mountaintop, Jerusalem, and then Elijah. I'm not there yet. I can't wait. And then, of course, Jesus, all of his mountaintop experiences in a garden, Mount Olives. So there's so many connections, and the connections and the link, they call them hyperlinks, are really cool, but I got to remember to connect it to my faith. And so every one of those mountaintop experiences, God is testing the person. Are you going to trust my voice? So Adam and Eve, did they trust God's voice? No, because the serpent said, did you really say, or did God really say to not eat from the tree? So they didn't trust his voice. They sinned. They fell. Abraham makes a lot of mistakes with Sarah, and and Ishmael. I don't remember her name, but the slave girls had a child, Tamar.
I wanted to say Tamar.
Something like that. So
or Hagar. Hagar. It's Hagar.
Hagar. There you go. So all of his mistakes, and he didn't finally trust God's voice till he was on the mountain. And what did he do or not do?
Well, he was going to take his son's life.
Yeah, he was going to take his son's life, and the angel stopped him. Did I say Noah? Noah had to trust the Lord, and he sacrificed on a mountaintop after the flood. Abraham then sacrifices on a mountaintop. It's amazing. So I'm sorry, we were talking about quitters today.
No, that's cool.
I have walked every day at 5 a.m. Almost can get 2 laps in, and then I listen to right now Bible Project because I fell behind. It's awesome when you fall behind, because then every day you don't have to wait a week. Every day you get an hour's worth of great material. So that's what I'm doing.
Awesome.
So yeah, I'm pretty solid hanging in there. Get out there. Don't be a quitter, or be a starter. Today's start day.
We've talked about this before. You grew up in the era of cartoons, like specifically Tom and Jerry.
Really good cartoons.
Yeah, you were
Looney Tunes, Tom and Jerry, Scooby-Doo.
Yes. You've mentioned that there were a lot of things that took place in those cartoons that you thought were going to be much more relevant in everyday life.
I blame it on 2 things: cartoons and the easy to reach books in the library. So you know how they'd have the rolling cart just as you'd walk into the library, and it would have not picture books, but quick read informational books in the library as you would go in, and the teacher would say, everybody needs to get 2 books. Well, you'd go to that first, and they put books there that they knew guys like me would like information we thought we needed. And so I blame cartoons, and I blame the librarians for putting books within my view that I thought were really important. So what are some of the things that I have mentioned?
So the first one that I recall you mentioning, and I agree with this one, this also permeated into my experience as a child, quicksand.
Quicksand. It was everywhere in my childhood.
I know. And I had a point actually as an adult when I went, wait, I have never... Where is quicksand? Like, usually
in bog. We think it's sand. It's really not.
It's like mud.
Yeah, it's mud that has... Now, it can happen like in Arizona when the washes would get full and then they would slowly drain away. If you were to cross a wash and it still had wet sand, you could sink in that. But typically it's in, like, here in Florida in the Everglades, you can step in a hole.
Right.
That doesn't look like a hole. And you
right. But in suburban America.
Yeah, I
It
don't
is
know.
not
I
a
don't know
quicksand.
that there are any theme parks that offers quicksand or any nature preserves, walking paths where it's if you choose quicksand, it's over here. You don't
Yeah,
get that.
I remember like really taking to heart that if I ever got stuck in quicksand, I just need to not
You
move
don't
because
move.
the
You put
struggle
your
makes
arms
it
out.
worse.
Yeah, and you put your
And
arms out,
yeah,
and then you
put your
make
arms
animal
out.
calls or something to help, call for help.
Oh, I didn't know that. I just
Yeah,
everyone like got thrown a stick or a rope
right.
by a friend and pulled them out.
Quicksand, absolutely. Total fear.
Quicksand.
Have yet to encounter it.
Dynamite. I feel like this was specifically Tom and
Coyote
Jerry. Oh yeah,
and
yeah. Wile E.
Roadrunner,
Coyote.
they really had a fondness for dynamite. So I thought you would just be able to go down to the farm and fleet and pick up dynamite and blow stuff up. Apparently, you have to have a license for that.
Yeah. It
I
did.
didn't know that. So there's some
Why did
sort of
they
training that goes along with it.
why did they pick such perilous things for kids'
Oh,
TV
I
shows
know.
now that I
What are
think
the other?
about
What
it?
else? What else is perilous?
Anvils,
Anvils falling right out of the sky,
which
right out of nowhere. An anvil could come down,
what are
and it
anvils
would,
used for? Blacksmithing?
and it, yeah, you smack them. I mean, that's what they're really, really hard and really, really heavy. And so one that would fall from 4 to 5 stories, although it didn't kill you, it could shove you into the ground. You would literally go down into the ground in the shape of an anvil. And then we would have to have a scene change because no one could quite figure out how to get Wile E. Coyote out of the ground after getting hit by an anvil. So that's when you'd go to commercial.
It was either
You'd come
that or they
back.
would get completely flattened to
Oh
become
yeah,
a
like well,
2D a
so
2D character.
yeah. And a side thing that we really isn't that prevalent, but steamrollers. You got to look out for steamrollers because
Oh,
they could run if they run you right over. They flatten you right out. You're a 2D object. So we need to add that to the list. Steamrollers are quite a problem. Oh boy, I haven't even thought of that. I do see those quite often for road repair.
I have seen a lot of steamrollers. None have ever been chasing me, but
Head on a swivel.
I have
Yep.
seen those. Um, oh shoot, what was the one I said earlier?
I've got one. I
Hmm.
really thought avalanches were going to be a problem. I've yet to be stuck
Yeah,
in an avalanche.
yeah.
I had a plan. Well, hopefully you have skis and you can just out ski it. But
Okay.
I had an avalanche plan, hopefully, or falling down a mountain with
Oh,
snow and
doom.
you turn into a snowball.
Yes. Hmm.
You get caught up in the snow and you are in the snowball. All that
Hmm.
sticks out are like your hands and your feet and your head, and you're rolling down a mountainside as a snowball.
I had a
That's
student
what are you going to
actually
do with
this
that?
week say that that would happen. That's
Yeah,
funny. So it must
that's
still
a thing
be
a kid worries
in
about.
cartoons today.
Yeah,
Hmm.
turning into a snowball, a giant runaway snowball down the side of a mountain.
It's a legitimate fear.
Yeah. So here's one of the ones that were in the books in the library, the Bermuda Triangle. I was pretty much guaranteed I was going to get stuck in the Bermuda Triangle at some point in my adult
Mm-hmm.
life. And I live probably, I don't know, 150 nautical miles from the Bermuda Triangle. Haven't been sucked into it. I'm hoping, because I do have a plan.
You would have to get
You
on a
just go
boat
in
for this to
one
happen.
direction. You have to go in one direction. You don't stop. Same thing with getting lost in the woods. That's another one. Getting lost in the woods. You got to go just in the same direction. Don't, you can't turn left or right. That's what happens. You know which way humans naturally turn?
Left.
You naturally do. I don't know why. I think it has to do with the rotation of the earth. But you tend, when they
Oh,
find people who've been lost
they've
and
gone
wander,
left.
they go left. You tend to go left.
Interesting. So
I don't know
if you
why.
ever get lost, you're going to go right because when
Well, yeah,
people
I
zig,
zig
you
when
zag.
everybody else zags.
Yeah. Okay. Um, I pianos falling from the ceiling.
Yeah, that's in the anvil category.
And
Pianos
Veggie
either
Tales even
falling
did.
down the stairs, bunk, bunk,
Yeah.
bunk. Oh, end over end, and then
Yes.
crushing you at the
Head,
bottom of the stairs.
head, tail.
Yeah, that can happen.
Um,
Or
yeah.
right out of a window. Or, they always try to lift them. If you live in New York,
Hmm.
especially, you need to be careful of pianos because they lift them up
They're
to the
frequently
penthouse.
lifted over your head.
Yeah, where the rich people are. Always be looking up when you're in New York because you don't know when a piano is going to fall out of the sky and crush you. But you won't die. That's the good thing. This isn't morbid. You'll wake up You'll probably get knocked out. You'll wake up and you'll have piano keys for teeth.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only thing that is going to be a problem.
That's the worst that could happen.
You're going to have the black and white keys as teeth. I don't know why, but that's what happens.
Absolutely. It's not that bad. You can come back from that. And then in 2 minutes, all your teeth are back. It's fine.
Yep.
Another thing that I thought I was going to have to deal with a lot more was stop, drop, and roll. I'm a natural worrier.
Mm-hmm.
And so I really paid attention when I was taught stop, drop, and roll. And never once have I even come close to being in a situation. I've never even heard someone tell me they had to stop, drop, and roll.
I have lit myself on fire. But
with the grill?
Briefly. Well, the grill is one, but even at the farm.
Oh, yeah. You were eyebrowless for a couple times.
Yeah, and trying to build, trying to keep your fire hot in the woods, all the scrub brush and stuff I'd cut down and burn. You got to keep piling it. You have to get in there sometimes. And I have, like my Carhartts, my heavy winter Carhartts, they've singed and caught fire a little bit at the bottom because I was in the fire too long. But so I've lit myself on fire, but I didn't stop, drop, and roll.
Yeah, stop, drop, and roll. There was one. Bear attacks.
Wow, that's pretty real.
And I go hiking a lot and still have never had.
You got a call. Hey, bear.
A bear attack.
Yep. Yeah, I'm worried about bears because I have a plan with them.
What's your plan?
Befriend them.
Oh.
Just let them know that I'm good with animals anyway. So why would a bear be any different? I just befriend them. So things you should worry about that kids worry about. So you need to keep the tradition going and implant some of this into your students.
Some fears.
Psyche, not to scare them, but just say, have you thought about quicksand? Have you thought about if you're on a boat and you get out in the Bermuda Triangle? Have you thought if you've turned into apparently one of your kids have, if you turn into a giant snowball, are you going to be able to steer yourself? What's your plan? Kids should have a plan. That's all we're trying to say.
I thought I would have to slide down the emergency inflatable slide in an airplane.
On an airplane.
By this point. Mm-hmm. Or at least have the oxygen masks drop down. I've never seen that. And they tell you every single time. And I really thought I would have experienced, not that I want to experience it, but I thought it was inevitable, especially with the number of flights I've been on. I thought that would have happened, but yeah, I'm sure more will come to me. I'll wake up in the middle of the night and think of one that
Okay. Yeah, we'll write them down. If you have one, again, comment. Bring up things you used to freak out about. How about one more, but somebody else should expound on this. Chopsticks.
I'm terrible with chopsticks.
I got a real fear of chopsticks. I was really afraid that if they decided, chopsticks are the way to go, we're no longer going to use forks, knives, and spoons, I would be in trouble.
Yeah, I can't.
I just don't have it. So.
But Ben makes fun of me, but I'm like, I thought most people weren't good at using chopsticks. But we when we were in the Bahamas, we went to Nobu, which is like a famous Japanese restaurant. And I looked around and a lot of people were doing just fine. And I'm eating my sushi roll with a fork and a spoon together.
All right, everybody, go out and be doers. No quitting. Be a starter today. Today can be starting day for you. Don't be afraid of things, especially quicksand. I doubt you're going to see some, but if you do encounter these things, we need to know. We will interview you. If you have quicksand stories or Bermuda Triangle stories, or you've turned into a snowball rolling down a hill story. If you've had an anvil hit you in the head, you probably don't remember it, so I don't think anybody could respond to that. But if you've got a story,
or like a piano did fall, or you did get to ride down the yellow inflatable slide on an airplane.
The keys were your teeth. We want to hear from you. That would be worth.
Because the public deserves to know this is an actual.
This could be like a real life survival show. This show can be anything we want it to be.
Yes, there are no rules.
Please don't call me podcast. It's limitless.
We kept it very general.
That's right. Very wide open. So, all right, go dogs.
Yes, go dogs.
Alex, have a great day at the game.
Thank
you, everybody, for sticking with us. We are excited to continue to not quit the podcast.
Yes.
It rolls on.
Here we are. We are proving that you can keep doing things and not quit.
All right. Bye, everybody. Thanks. See you. Bye.
Bye.